And it is day 10 since the militant group Hamas attacked Israel. The Israeli military is preparing for the next stage of the war against the Hamas militant group, while humanitarian crisis still looms large over Gaza. In the latest, the Israeli army has once again offered a window to civilians to escape from the north and move to the southern part of the Gaza Strip. The evacuation of residents from the Rafah crossing is set to begin in just a short while from now. The Israeli Defense Forces will open the Rafah border crossing between 9 a.m. local time and 12 p.m. local time, allowing foreign nationals to cross the Egypt border and evacuate from the war zone. The foreign nationals currently in Gaza can cross over to Egypt, this according to the Palestinian embassy. The nationals with dual nationality will be allowed to cross over to Egypt. Humanitarian aid will also begin crossing into Gaza once the crossing opens up. Earlier, U.S. President Joe Biden said in an interview that any move by Israel to occupy the Gaza Strip again would be a big mistake. Take a listen.
I think it'd be a big mistake. Look, what happened in Gaza, in my view, is Hamas and the extreme elements of Hamas don't represent all the Palestinian people. And I think that it would be a mistake for Israel to occupy Gaza again. But to going in and taking out the extremists, the Hezbollah is up north, but Hamas down south is a necessary requirement.
U.S. and the Israelis are also discussing, the officials of U.S. and Israel are discussing the possibility of U.S. President Joe Biden visiting Israel at the invitation of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. A visit by Biden will show support for the biggest U.S. ally in West Asia. The White House, however, has denied any comments on this. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken continued his outreach activities in the West Asian region. He completed his six-nation tour with a visit to Jordan. While Blinken says that the nations in the region believe that any spillover of the Israel-Palestine conflict must be averted. Blinken, after his meeting with the Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, said, and I'm quoting him here, "Rafah crossing will be reopened. We are putting in place with the United Nations, with Egypt, with Israel, with others, a mechanism by which to get the assistance in and to get it to the people who are in need of it," unquote. This while Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said that the policies and actions of Hamas do not represent the Palestinians. Now, staying with diplomacy, Iran has also warned Israel of escalation if it failed to end aggression against Palestinians and stated that the resistance front can defend itself. So far, 1,400 people have been killed in the Hamas attacks, and the attacks since then, most of them on the civilians. Meanwhile, Israel's attacks in the days since have flattened neighborhoods and also killed at least 2,670 people in Gaza, a majority of them again being civilians. Meanwhile, the Israeli military claims that 155 people were being held hostage by Hamas since the militant group Hamas staged its deadliest attack last week. Meanwhile, Israel said that it is restoring water supply to southern parts of Gaza. Israeli Minister of Energy and Infrastructure said that this move will help push civilians to move south and would make it possible to tighten Israel's siege on Gaza. This comes as the sounds of massive blasts continue to be heard in Gaza as an Israeli ground offensive looms.